We made sure to integrate the needs of the users that live in and transit this area. With the help of our research strategies, we learned that the young ones, including kids and teens, felt the need of a safe space to practice sports, such as soccer and skateboarding. The project includes a soccer field as well as basketball courts and skate park, where tournaments can be held and motivate them to practice physical activity, which has a positive impact on their health. The adults express their belief that music is a very important part of the community's culture. Therefore, they feel the need of a space where they can have musical practices as well as events related to it, such as folklore shows and Santa Lucia's festival. There are noticeable economical problems in the area, and although they might not appear so by their attitude and perspective of life, once we see the conditions they live in, it becomes very noticeable. This might be because of factors such as demographics, its location, political status, and other things. Firstly, the community is composed of people from a lot of different countries, since a lot of times immigrants tend to locate themselves there. It was known as an unsafe area, which led people to avoid it, affecting their economy. Also, its location causes several social concerns, since it is in a mountain, the higher parts don't have access to water, and the elderly are unable to reach the lower parts of La Campana. To gather information, we made use of a couple analysis methods: mapping, interviews, and photo identification. The mapping consisted in gathering data through graphic representation in the map by asking questions to which the answer could be a specific point in the area or a path. The photo identification method consisted in asking questions and placing several pictures in front of the users being questioned. To answer these questions, they would pick a specific number of pictures which they think best represent their answers. So the data is gathered by making conclusions out of the pictures selected. I believe architecture has a great impact on society and taking care of vulnerable groups because architects have the power and influence to create worthy, reliable structures for everyone by making the most of resources and creating affordable construction plans. Also, an architect has the ability to create a space in a way that it seems and feels inclusive to all. There is a relationship between the impacts of the primary facts that define the context. For example, if there is social unrest and economic instability, some users might start to rely on practices such as pocket lifting, stealing, and assaulting. If this is known, people will stop approaching the area, and this will have an even worse impact on the local economy. There is a big relationship between the community and its history and culture. This can be seen in the murals that are throughout the community's walls. We have become aware of the social impact of these representations of history in the community. They appear to be very proud and aware of their story and look forward to impulse these cultural strategies. I learned that it is important to build structures that have stability and ensure their durations, since there are people, such as the vulnerable groups, that don't have the resources to afford architectural projects every couple of years. Also, it's important to use environmentally friendly materials in the construction process, so that the project won't have a negative impact on the environment. Throughout the process of planning and creating a construction project like the one we are developing for this course, I have learned that, as an architect, we should not develop our project based solely on what looks aesthetically pleasing, but on how it is as an answer to the user's needs. Of course, we are entitled to an opinion and can advise the customer on what we think could be a good and practical addition to the project they are asking for, especially if we have broad knowledge in regards to their demands, but we should also listen to what they look for and wish to see come to life with their project. We should always stick to what we know is the safest, better construction option, as well as the norms for that specific type of project, but we should always take into greater consideration the user's needs and wishes.